All right, so it's game day, and Oklahoma is taking on Navy in the bowl game. You guys saw the title, so you're tuning in wondering, what the hell is this dude talking about? Well, we're going to talk about what Sooner fans are missing about this bowl game against Navy, why it is so important, especially for Oklahoma going in the next season, and how Oklahoma can prepare this offseason. Not to mention, I'm going to give you my unexpert opinion for these score predictions. We're going to have a little fun with it. Before we do that, though, as always, for everybody that joined the channel here in the month of December, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. You guys really don't understand how much that means to YouTubers like myself. It really helps us grow, get us out there in the algorithm. So I appreciate you guys doing that. And if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit the subscribe button. We're constantly pushing out OU football content. We're doing basketball content. We'll be doing baseball and softball content. So I want you all to be a part of it. We do transfer portal, recruiting. It's not easy work, especially for somebody else like me that has a full-time job. This is a lot of work, right? So it just tells me you guys like the content, helps me out, helps me buy some diapers for the newborn. But let's talk about OU versus Navy here, because guys, I think everybody's a little more down on this game than I think they should be. Oklahoma opened up as a 9-point favorite in this game. And although the line has fallen to -2.5, I think there's a potential chance Oklahoma could go out here and win this game by 3 or 4 scores. You could see a game where Oklahoma actually dominates, and fans might call me crazy, but this is where I think Oklahoma fans are going to be missing a couple really crucial and key things as they watch this game, things that they might not understand, but things that I think could really help Oklahoma out going into this offseason. And the first thing is, looking at what has happened to Oklahoma since after the LSU game, right? You've seen all of these portal entries, especially on offense, right? You've lost all these wide receivers. You lost Bauer Sharp. You lost Caleb Hicks, but like Caleb Hicks didn't really produce for Oklahoma. So it's like, doesn't really hurt you that much, but you lost Jackson Arnold, who was supposed to be like your next great quarterback at Oklahoma. And Oklahoma fans, you're feeling it. I feel you guys. You're feeling it. And so you're asking yourself, well, what good can come out of this bowl game other than Oklahoma just having a winning season and not being 6-7 again? You watch this game, you look at the depth chart, you see the youth movement, right? Especially on the offensive side of the ball. You see this youth movement. You see Brent Venables and Ben Arbuckle really wanting to see what they have on the offensive side of the ball. And that's exactly what we're talking about. They want to see what they have on the offensive side of the ball, because this year, the offense only got 3,800 yards, almost 3,700. But about 3,800 yards this year is what the Oklahoma offense produced. That is absolute garbage. There are most quarterbacks out there, good quarterbacks at Oklahoma, that have been able to put up 3,500 yards in a season, and Oklahoma's offense for the whole season could only put up plus 300 to that number. And so you look at it, especially with the new offensive coordinator like Ben Arbuckle coming in, seeing all of the transfer portal entries. He has to look at it and go, obviously, we got to take guys in the portal, which you got the number one player in the transfer portal at your quarterback position. You've gotten some wide receivers, right? You've gotten some offensive linemen. But you have to look at some of these other guys, which Brent Venables has talked about so much. He's talked about the young guys that they've recruited and how he believes in them, how he believes they are the future of this program. And I'm looking at guys like a Zion Kearney, a Zion Raggins. You look at Ivan Carrion. You look at guys that really haven't even played yet. Or you look at a guy like Jacob Jordan, who he got time this year and got 207 yards. You look at them and say, what are we getting out of you? And I think you got to look at the wide receiver room, because that's where you lost the most, right? But on the same level, you have to look at the tight end room, where everybody has been less than pleased with Joe John Finley's recruiting and the transfer portal, but then also development in this room as well during the regular season. So everybody's turning their eyes. They're focusing their attentions to a guy like Devon Mitchell, Caden Helms, or McKinstry, right? You're looking at those three guys and saying, what can you give me in this game? What can you show me in this game to show that you can help lead this tight end room for Oklahoma into the future? Because the tight end room for Oklahoma has historically been a pretty good position. I mean, back when I first started watching OU football like actually started watching OU football in 2007, I remember Jermaine Gresham. Like that guy was a dude at tight end, right? And then you go throughout the years and you saw Blake Bell kind of do some things there. You saw Mark Andrews, you saw Stogner, you saw Calcaterra, right? So you've seen Oklahoma have good tight ends, NFL caliber tight ends, and you're ready to see that again. Braden Willis, most recently. So I look at a guy like Devon Mitchell. What's Oklahoma going to get out of a guy like him in this bowl game? Does he play, right? Because Devon Mitchell in high school, 2022 and 2023 guys, played in 10 games, had 33 receptions for 731 yards and 9 touchdowns. And so we know he's got a connection with Michael Hawkins when they played at Allen, Texas. And you would want to see Devon Mitchell go out there, and he doesn't have to have a big game where he goes for 100 yards. But even if he got you like 35 yards and maybe a touchdown, you feel good about that. If you go out there and you see Jake Roberts and Devon Mitchell cleaning up in the blocks, right, allowing room for the running backs, you feel good about that going in the next season. And maybe the tight end room doesn't feel as in dire need as we all think it is right now heading into the offseason. But the same thing is at the wide receiver room. You look at all the guys that enter the portal, like the Nick Andersons. And so you look at guys like Zion Kearney and Zion Raggins and all of these guys and say, okay, can they step up? And can they show us something that, quite frankly, we didn't see all year long, right? A KJ Daniels is somebody that we didn't see all year long. Is he going to be able to come in and make an impact? Is Jacob Jordan going to be able to continue to build upon the great regular season that he had, especially now that he's on scholarship? Those are the things that I think Oklahoma fans are missing about this bowl game that I think can ultimately help us see the bigger picture here going into the offseason. So you look at that, you look at the youth movement, you're going to see guys on the offensive line, in the wide receiver room, in the tight end room. Obviously, you're going to see Hawkins at the quarterback position. However, although Hawkins is super talented, although Hawkins is probably going to be a guy that could play for Oklahoma as a starter down the road, probably not your starter next year with John Mateer coming in, right? So this is one of those things where, especially with Ben Arbuckle coaching quarterbacks, we know that's happening. If you see some significant improvement from Michael Hawkins, you feel really good about it, especially if John Mateer decides to head to the NFL draft after 1 year at Oklahoma. Now, just looking at this game, right? You look at the sheer, Oklahoma versus Navy, you look at the two programs and say, well, obviously the outcome should be Oklahoma winning this game, even if it's just covering the spread at -2.5 and winning by a field goal. Because Oklahoma has better athletes than Missouri. Oklahoma recruits better, or not Missouri. Oklahoma has better, well, I mean, they do have better athletes than Missouri, but Oklahoma has better athletes than Navy, right? Oklahoma should be able to go out there and out-athlete Navy to win this game. And so you look at the ESPN matchup predictor, 75% to 24% in favor of Oklahoma. Like I said, the spread opened up at -9, but now it's down to -2.5. They have the over-under currently set at 43.5. So that line is only dropped by 3 points. So quite frankly, they think Navy's going to go in here and score more points than initially given. Oklahoma's obviously without their leading receiver or leading pass catcher in Bauer Sharp, but you might be getting Deion Burks back this game. And so you look at what Deion Burks is able to bring Oklahoma, bring Michael Hawkins, and Michael Hawkins obviously being able to create and use his feet. The key for Oklahoma here to win this game is to just play a clean game on the offensive side of the ball. If you can do that, you can play to your strengths, which has been handing the ball off to a guy like Xavier Robinson, right? Running the ball down their throats. You're going to win this game. Right? You're going to win it. That's inevitable. Just play your game, play clean ball on the offensive side. You're going to win it. When Oklahoma's won the turnover battle, they win the game. It's just facts. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, though, your defense has to play one of their better games, especially against the run game that they've played all year long. Because Navy, especially in this like option offense, like they're going to run it down your throat. We all saw that against Army a couple of years ago when Kyler Murray and them here in Norman almost lost. So if you're Oklahoma on the defensive side of the ball, you want to see these defensive linemen absolutely come in here, step up, be suffocating to the run game like they have been all year. And if you do that, there's no doubt in my mind Oklahoma can go out here and win this game by 3 scores, which is exactly what I'm going to pick. I'm going to pick Oklahoma to win this game 35-10. I think Oklahoma goes out here, they play sound football. You see really good things from the offensive side of the ball. The staff feels good about what they have. Oklahoma fans feel good about what they have. And you feel good about the offensive coordinator and Ben Arbuckle going into next season, right? So I've got 35-10 Oklahoma beating the Navy midshipmen at 11 o'clock at TCU's home in the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl. But I want to hear your all score predictions. So jump in the comments below. Drop those in the comments. And if you guys have not already, make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe button.